Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God as a noun and verb, the most merciful God, the bestower of mercy. Qaaaroown. T.S.M. Okay. These are the signs of the perspicuous book. We will dictate unto thee some parts of the history of Moses and Pharaoh with truth, for the sake of the people who believe. Now Pharaoh lifted himself up in the land, and he caused his subjects to divide into parties. He weakened one party of them by slaying their male children, and preserving their females alive, for he was an oppressor. And we were minded to be gracious unto those who were weakened in the land, and to make them models of religion, and to make them the heirs, and to establish a place for them on the earth, and to show Pharaoh and Haamaan and their forces the destruction of their kingdom and nation by them, which they sought to avoid. And we directed the mother of Moses by revelation, saying, Give him suck, and if thou fearest for him, cast him into the river, and fear not, neither be afflicted, for we will restore him unto thee, and will appoint him one of our apostles. And when she had put the child in the ark, and had cast it into the river, the family of Pharaoh took him up, that he should become an enemy and sorrow unto them. And remember that Haaaamaan kind of tells you when it was that the Pharaoh, the great house, so not all of them recall this, but Haaaamaan was was of the house of Ammon. So that narrows down which Pharaoh it was for you quite a bit, actually, these two details. Verily, Pharaoh and Haaaamaan and their forces were sinners. And the wife of Pharaoh said, This child is a delight of the eye to me, and to thee. Kill him not. Peradventure it may happen that he may be serviceable unto us, or we may adopt him for our son. And they perceived not what they were doing. And the heart of the mother of Moses became oppressed with fear, and she had almost discovered him, and we harmed her. And had we not armed her heart with constancy, that she may be one of those who believe the promises of God. And she said unto his sister, Follow him. And she watched him from a distance, and they perceived it not. And we suffered him not to the breast of the nurses which were provided before the sister came up. And she said, Shall I direct unto some of his nation who may nurse him for you, and will be careful of him? And at their desire she brought his mother to them. So we restored him to his mother, that her mind might be set at ease, and that she might not be afflicted, and that she might know that the promise of God was true. But the greater part know not. And when Moses had attained his age of full strength, and was become a perfected man, we bestowed on him wisdom and knowledge, and thus do we reward the upright. And he went into the city at a time when the inhabitants thereof observed not. And he found therein two men fighting, the one of his own party, and the other of his enemies. And he of his own party begged assistance against him who was of the contrary party, and Moses struck him with his fist and slew him. But being sorry for what happened, he said, "This is the work of the devil, for he is a seducing and open enemy." And he said, "O Lord, verily I have injured my own soul, wherefore forgive me." So God forgave him, and he is ready to forgive and merciful. He said, "O Lord, by the favors which thou hast favored me, I will not be an assistant to the wicked for the future." And the next morning he was afraid in the city and looked about him, as one apprehensive in danger. And behold, he whom he had assisted the day before cried out unto him for help a second time. But Moses said unto him, "Thou art plainly a quarrelsome fellow." And when he sought to lay hold on him who was an enemy unto them both, he said, "O Moses, dost thou intend to kill me, as thou killest a man yesterday?" Thou seekest only to be an oppressor in the earth, and thou seekest not to be a reconciler. And a certain man came from the further part of the city, running hastily, and said, "O Moses, verily the magistrates are deliberating concerning thee, to put thee to death. Depart thereof. I certainly advise thee well." Wherefore he departed out of the city in great fear, looking this way and that. And he said, O Lord, deliver me from the unjust people." And when he was journeying towards Madian, he said, "Peradventure my Lord will direct me in the right way." And when he arrived at the water of Madian, he found out about the well a company of men who were watering their flocks. And he found besides them 2 women who kept off at a distance. And he said unto them, "What is the matter with you?" They answered, "We shall not water our flocks until the shepherds shall have driven away theirs. For our father is an old man, stricken in years." So Moses watered their sheep for them, and afterwards retired into the shade, saying, "O Lord, verily I stand in need of the good which thou shalt send down unto me." And one of the damsels came unto him, walking bashfully, and said, "My father calleth thee, that he may recompense thee for the trouble which thou hast taken in watering our sheep for us." And when he was come unto Shuaib, and had told him the story of his adventure, and he said, Shuaib is not listed here, and told him the story of his adventures, he said unto him, "Fear not, thou hast escaped from unjust people." And one of the damsels said, "My father, hire him for wages. The best thou canst hire is an able and trusty person." And and Shuaib or Jethro or whoever whoever the guy's name was is not listed. That's not the point. And to Moses, "Verily I will give thee one of these my 2 daughters in marriage, on condition that you'll serve me for hire 8 years. If thou fulfill 10, it is in thine own breast. For I seek not to impose a hardship on thee, and thou shalt find me, if God please, a man of probity." Moses answered, "Let this be the covenant between me and thee. Whichsoever the 2 terms I shall fulfill, let it be no crime in me if I then quit thy service. And God is witness of that which we say." And doesn't it say the 2 pilgrimages? Hiram on the Hijjah. Yeah, for 10 pilgrimages. Moses answered, "Let this be the covenant between me and thee. Whichever of these two terms I shall fulfill, let it be no crime in me, and God as witness of that which we say." And when Moses had fulfilled the term and was journeying with his family towards Egypt, he saw fire on the side of Mount Sinai in the direction of a mountain. Okay. Cool. And he said unto his family, "Tarry ye here, for I see fire. Peradventure I may bring you thence some tidings of the way, or at least a brand out of the fire, that ye may be warm." So even people in Egypt get cold. And when he was come thereto, a voice cried unto him from the right side of the valley in the sacred bottom from the tree, saying, "O Moses, verily I am God, the Lord of all creatures. Cast down now thy rod." And when he saw it, that it moved as though it had been a serpent, he retreated and fled and returned not. Away, it means the two lands. So he was still in Egyptian territory when this happened, which does, to a degree, narrow down which pharaoh it would have been if you're looking at which pharaohs claimed rule over the Sinai. "O Moses, verily I am God, the Lord of all creatures. Cast down now thy rod." And when he saw it, that it moved as though it had been a serpent, he retreated and fled and returned not. And God said, "O Moses, draw near and fear not, for thou art safe. Put thy hand into thy bosom, and it shall come forth white without any hurt. And draw back thy hand unto thee for fear. These shall be two evident signs from thy Lord unto Pharaoh and his princes, for they are a wicked people." Moses said, "O Lord, verily I have slain one of them, and I fear that they will put me to death. But my brother Aaron is of a more eloquent tongue than I am. Wherefore send him with me for an assistant, that he may gain me credit. For I fear lest they accuse me of imposture." God said, "We will strengthen thine arm by thy brother, and will give each of you power, so that they shall come up to you in our signs, ye two, and whoever shall follow you, the conquerors." And when Moses came unto them with our evident signs, they said, "This is no other than a deceitful piece of sorcery. Neither have we heard this among our forefathers." And Moses said, "My Lord best knoweth who cometh with the direction from him, and who shall have success in this life as well as the next, but the unjust shall not prosper." And Pharaoh said, "O princes, I did not know that ye had any other God besides me. Wherefore do thou, O Haaamaaan, burn me clay, and build me a high tower, that I may ascend unto the God of Moses. For I verily believe him to be a liar, and both he and his forces behave themselves insolently and unjustly in the earth, and imagine that they should not be brought before us. Wherefore we took him and his forces, and cast them into the sea. Behold, therefore, what was the end of the unjust? And we made them guides, inviting the fire, and on the day of resurrection they shall not be screened from punishment. We pursued them with a curse in this life, and on the day of resurrection they shall be shamefully rejected. And we gave the book of the law unto Moses, after he had destroyed the former generations, to enlighten men, and for a direction and mercy. Peradventure they may consider, thou wast not on the west side of the mount when we delivered Moses his commission, neither wast thou one of those who were present at his receiving it. But we raised up several generations, and life was prolonged unto them. Neither didst thou dwell among the inhabitants of Madian, rehearsing unto them our signs. But we have sent thee, and fully instructed in every particular. Now wast thou present on the side of the mount when we called unto Moses, but thou art sent as a mercy from thy Lord, that thou mightest preach unto a people whom no preacher hath come before thee, that peradventure they may be warned, and lest, if a calamity had befallen them for that which their hands had previously committed, they should have said, O Lord, since thou hast not sent an apostle unto us, that we might follow thy signs and become true believers, are we not excusable? Yet when the truth is come unto them from before us, they say, unless he receive the same power to work miracles as Moses received, we will not believe. Have they not likewise rejected the revelation which was heretofore given unto Moses? They say, two cunning impostors have mutually assisted one another. And they say, verily, we reject them both. Say, produce therefore a book from God, which is more right than these two, that I may follow it, if ye speak truth. But if they return thee no answer, know that they only follow their own desires, and who erreth more widely than he who followeth his own desire? Psychopath. Without a direction from God. Verily, God directeth not the unjust people. Now that's, something that sounds different in English, but if you're not accepting the guidance, that doesn't apply to you. That you're not guided because you don't want to be guided. And now have we caused our word to come unto them, that they may be admonished. They unto whom we have given the scriptures before it believe in the same, and when it is read unto them, say, we believe therein. It is certainly the truth from our Lord. Verily we are Muslimin, Muslimun, maybe all before that. Before this, they shall receive the reward twice, because they have persevered, and repel evil by good, and distribute alms out of that which we have bestowed on them. And when they hear vain discourse, avoid the same, saying, we have our works, and ye have your works. Peace be upon you. We covet not the acquaintance of the ignorance. Verily thou canst not direct whom thou wilt, but God directeth whom he pleaseth, and he best knoweth who will submit to be directed. And remember here about how the inhabitants of paradise, what they will regret is wasting their time. So whether your media choices or whether your expression choices, no art for art's sake, no conversation for conversation's sake. Do something good with your time. They say, if we follow the same direction with thee, we shall be forcibly expelled in our land. Have we not established for them a secure asylum to which fruits of every sort are brought as a provision for our bounty? But the greater part of them do not understand. How many cities have we destroyed whose inhabitants live in ease and plenty, and these their dwellings are not inhabited after them, unless for a little while, and we were the inheritors. But thy Lord did not destroy, until he had sent unto their capital an apostle to rehearse our signs unto them. Neither did we destroy, unless their inhabitants were injurious. The things which are given you are the provisions of this present life and the pomp thereof, but that which is with God is better and more durable. Will ye not therefore understand? Shall he then, unto whom we have promised an excellent promise, and who shall attain the same, be as he on whom we have bestowed the provision of this present life, and on who the day of resurrection shall be of those who are delivered up into eternal punishment. On that day God shall call unto them, and shall say, Where are my partners which ye imagined? And they upon whom the sentence shall be justly pronounced shall answer, These, O Lord, are those whom we seduced. We seduced them as we also had been seduced, but we have clearly quit them and turned unto thee. They did not worship us, but their own lust. And it shall be said, Call now upon those whom ye associated, and they shall call upon them, but they shall not answer them, and they shall see the punishment prepared for them, and shall wish that they had submitted to be directed. On that day God shall call unto them, and shall say, What answer did ye return to our messengers? But they shall not be able to give an account thereof on that day, neither shall they ask one another. Howbeit, whoso shall repent and believe, and shall do that which is right, may expect to be happy. Thy Lord createth what he pleaseth, and chooseth freely, but they have no free choice. Praise be unto God, and far be he removed from that which they associate with him. Thy Lord knoweth which their breasts conceal, and which they discover. He is God. There is no God but he. Unto him is the praise due in this life and in that which is to come. Unto him doth judgment belong. And before him shall ye be assembled at the last day. Say, What think ye? If God should cover you with perpetual night, until the day of resurrection, what God besides God would bring you light? Will ye not therefore hearken? Say, What think ye? If God should give you continual day unto the day of resurrection, what God besides God would bring you night, that ye might rest therein? Will ye not therefore consider? Of his mercy he hath made for you the night and the day, that ye may rest in the one, and may seek made provisions for yourself out of his abundance in the other, and that ye may give thanks. On a certain day God shall call unto them, and shall say, Where are my partners which ye have imagined to share in the divine power with me? And we will produce a witness out of every nation, and will say, Bring hither your proof of what you have asserted. And they shall know that the right is God's alone, and the deities which they have devised shall abandon them. Qaaaroown was of the people of Moses. Qaaaroown is the establisher of the name. Qaaaroown. Yeah, Qaaaroown is the name, which in Egyptians actually thought to be one of the six types of person. You got the body, you got the astral soul, you got the, well, you have more than just the soul and the spirit and the body in the Egyptian way of thinking. But Qaaaroown is the establisher of the name, so he was chief scribe. Qaaaroown was of the people of Moses, but he behaved insolently towards them, for we had given him so much treasure that his keys would have loaded several strong men. When his people said unto him, Rejoice not immoderately, for God loveth not those who rejoice in their what riches moderately, but seek to attain the means of the wealth which God had given thee, the future mansions. And forget not thy portion in this world, but be bounteous, as God hath been bounteous unto thee. And seek not to act corruptly in the earth, for God loveth not the corrupt doers. So, out of these two verses, 76 and 78 of 28, verily Qaaaroown to God not likes the exultant. God likes not the exulting, and God divine love is not for the quality of committing great crimes. إن قارون كان من قوم موسى فبغى عليهم وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لا تنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن كما أحسن الله إليك ولا تبغ الفساد في الأرض إن الله لا يحب المفسدين. He answered, I have received only because of the knowledge which is with me. Did he not know that God had already destroyed before him several generations which were mightier than he in strength, and had amassed more abundance of riches? And the wicked shall not be axed their crimes. And Qaaaroown went forth to his people in his pomp, and they who loved this present life said, Oh, that we had the like, as hath been given unto Qaaaroown. Verily, he is the master of a great fortune. But those on whose knowledge had been bestowed answered, Alas for you, the reward of God will be better for him unto him who shall believe and do good works. But none shall attain unto the same except those who persevere with constancy. And we cause the ground to cleave in asunder, and to swallow up him and his palace, and that he had no forces to defend him besides God, neither was he rescued.